Now today's title is pretty dull, Demand Measurement Tools. And what we're going to do is a little bit of mathematics today because we're going to basically tease out from the demand function itself some principles or some ideas about relationships that exist there. And some of the tools we're going to use quite heavily as we go forward. So these tools are necessary in taking the next steps forward. Okay, let me show you what we're going to do. So here's our topics for today, basically. We're going to talk about elasticities. And elasticities, think of it this way. It's a way of measuring sensitivities. That's what we're trying to get at. And in particular now, we're going to talk about the sensitivity of demand to changes in key variables. Okay, so elasticities measure the sensitivity of demand to changes in the key variables, most notably the prices of the good itself and the income levels of individuals. And so we're going to talk about how that's measured and how you can actually evaluate it or come up with values for elasticities with some information from the demand function itself. Okay, the second thing we're going to talk about is consumer surplus. And consumer surplus is going to be really important to us because we're going to do a lot of what we're going to call welfare analysis later on, where welfare is referring to the well-being of individuals that participate in a particular market. And we're going to use the measure of consumer surplus as a way of getting at how much happiness is accruing to individual consumers in a market. So the strict definition is consumer surplus measures the amount of surplus value that's going to accrue to all of the consumers of a product in a market. In a sense, it's measuring consumer happiness. And it's going to be a measurement that's going to be taken at a particular price that prevails in the marketplace, generating a certain level of demand for a product. And with that information and the information that comes from the demand curve itself, we're going to be able to come up with a dollar measure, a dollar value of surplus that's actually accruing to individual consumers. Okay, and this is going to be really important going forward. So we need to learn these principles and learn how to measure them, evaluate them, and to apply it to the problems and questions we're going to address.